Hi, I'm Steve Bali, the state member for Blacktown. I'm with the wonderful Blacktown City Football Club women's team. So we'll just go around and introduce each other, your name and your position.
So I'm Rachel, and I play midfielder.
I'm Elise, and I play a winger or a striker.
I'm Lexi, I play anywhere in the back line.
I'm Kiara, and I play goalkeeper.
I'm Ainsley, I'm a central defender.
I'm Tiana, and I'm a striker.
I'm Claire, and I'm a striker.
Well, firstly, how was the season? What was the high point and what was the low point during the season?
Look, this season was a bit challenging compared to a lot of the other seasons. We had our ups and downs. We only got away with 7 wins, I believe. So it wasn't the greatest season that we've had. But look, we're a new club. We've started a new team compared to last year. We've started a whole new team, so new girls in the team. So having to gel with each other, learn how each other plays, strengths, weaknesses. But it's still turned out to be a joyful and, everyone enjoyed the season. We still had our laughs, but it was a pretty good season overall.
And what was the biggest challenge you faced?
I think our coach put it quite well a couple of days ago to us. He said it's really hard to stay together as a team and get along even when you're not winning as many games. He said it's really easy to be all happy and bright when you are winning. And I think that's something we've done really well as a club is we've stayed quite close-knit and just happy to be around each other, even though, like we said, our season hasn't really gone our way as much. So that was a big challenge this year, is maintaining kind of the club culture and just a lot of the vibes in the change rooms, things like that. Staying positive even if results don't go our way.
So maybe a show of hands, how many of you guys are studying? Oh, all of them. There you go. How many are working part-time? So how do you work more than 20 hours? I know what full-time student's supposed to be full-time, but you probably study full-time or you're working full-time. But how do you balance, I suppose, working 20, 30 hours a week, full-time study, and the workload to actually keep fit and do all the training? So how many hours? What do you see as the challenge in maintaining all that?
Ainsley and I, we both do, we had to drop down to part-time uni just so that we can fully commit to soccer, work, and then also uni as well. It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah, just trying to work 16 hours a week, roughly, and then on top of the 10 hours study. Training as well, you got to really be good with your time management and balance everything. But
so how many times a week do you train at Blacktown City?
Currently 3, but...
Then you got to do gym work outside of running.
Pre-season we did Saturdays and Sundays.
On top of the 3 during the week.
Yeah.
So how much running do you do? Now be honest, I know what soccer players are like.
Depends who you ask. It does take a lot of balance, and I think, in terms of training, it's all up. You sign up for that. You know that this is a lifestyle that you've chosen to play. You want to play football. This is what comes with it. And particularly, I know Kiara can probably add on to this. As you progress in the level that you're playing at, your training load gets more, which means you have to develop those skills where you're becoming a little bit more organised. And sometimes it is coming straight from work, changing in the car, or changing at the field and then jumping straight onto the field. And sometimes you get that 1 hour nap before training and you're just jumping into the car after that and going straight to training. But I think a lot of our girls did quite well to maintain that and to balance that. In terms of the running, we love our coach David and his little sprints in between the passing drills and the possession drills. So we do run a lot. We definitely do run a lot.
So have you seen the women's football change dramatically in your expectations of training and performance? Has that changed, especially with the Matilda's success? Is it becoming more professional in your outlook, and that's putting more challenge onto your time and commitments?
I think personally, because I've been playing at the level that Blacktown are at for almost 10 years now, I think whilst the training time and schedule is quite similar, I feel now we're given more opportunity and support. So rather than training 3 nights a week in a half-lit field, 15 kilometres away from your actual club, now we're getting a lot more opportunity to, whilst training the same, we're getting more support in terms of gym and strength conditioning and things like that. And obviously that just optimises our performances as well. If you're given the right opportunities and support, you can then give back in your own way as the athlete and performing. So I think that's the main difference.
Kiara, as captain, do you have to follow up on, I suppose, the emotional well-being of some of your players, or if they have a bad game, do you ring them up and give it to them, or you actually encourage them to? So you're a friendly captain, or, or a taskmaster?
I try to balance it out. Rachel here's my co-captain, and I think we bounce off each other in terms of how we lead the squad. But I do say our game day is a Sunday, and my phone is most busy on a Sunday evening after the game. I think coming to Blacktown was my first opportunity to captain a side, and I think it's a whole different aspect to the game, which some people don't think about. Everyone brings something different to the role. I think for me, I found the best way to lead was to just be as professional as I could in my own performances, because it's all well and good telling your team to perform if you're not performing. And then support the girls, and I kind of taught everyone a bit of what I like to call the 24-hour rule. So if you've had a Sunday match and you don't think it was that good, don't panic yet. Don't message the coach with your resignation letter. Wait till Monday, and then you can probably assess what you can do.
Well, if you...
I stand by that rule 100%. Yeah, it's a great rule.
Yeah, I think that applies to any profession. And don't send emails at 2 a.m. I would suggest as well.
I should mute my phone.
Yes. If you could change one thing in your sport, or you see one challenge that you want to meet up with the boys, and let's face it, the boys seem to get more resources, don't they? So how do you balance it up? What would you like to see, whether it's at Blacktown City or in general for women's soccer, football? What would you like to see change? Might just go round.
Maybe training on the main
What
pitch.
would you improve?
Oh yeah, probably training on the main pitch. Like we were always pushed out to the backfields. I feel like giving more of an opportunity to train like on the main pitch, like the boys get.
But the soft ground's better, isn't it?
Grass is better for the knees. Coming from a person who's problems with knees, love grass, love it.
But it's true, it's just that perception that if you're in the backfield rather than the front field. So do they swap around, or is just you're at the backfield? Probably we don't want to get into trouble with management.
We just rock up and train.
I think
Wherever.
it's definitely come a long way though. Yeah. Like Kiara's saying, been playing at this level for multiple years now, and to think like 6 or 7 years ago, where we are now, it was nothing back then. Like the facilities that we're currently getting, field size, quality, everything in general.
Yeah. Before our training sessions, we're allowed to use the on-site gym. So you can do your warm-ups and your exercises and your physio stuff, and then you can walk down to your field to train after.
What would you girls say, isn't it? What would you like to see in the next 5 years change in women's football?
Just in general getting more recognition, I guess. So it's been great. I think the Matildas doing as well as they did in the World Cup helped with this especially. I found that lots of people I work with, things like that, are saying their daughters who never wanted to touch any type of sport before are now super keen and want to play summer soccer or just get into it. So I think the opportunities that will arise from this, so a lot of other clubs and organisations are now hosting a summer soccer because it's become so popular after this World Cup. So I think it's just trying to keep the interest that the World Cup accrued, and trying to keep everything going.
And Kiara, I suppose, what's your 2 to 5 year type goal for Blacktown City Football Club? And do you see also a challenge or an opportunity for you to take up coaching roles, given that you've been a captain? You've probably got more than 10 years or so left in your career or so. I don't want to cut your career short.
Hopefully. I think for the club, we want to get, at the moment we're in League One, which is the second tier of football in New South Wales for women. I think obviously the next goal for us would be to get into NPL, and we need to do that. It's about being patient, I think, and keep investing. Just because results don't go the way doesn't mean throw in the towel and try to change everything. And I think that's good that we're getting the support from the men. We've seen that with RPL Leichhardt recently, how when their men's side decided to support their women, 4 years ago were in, I think, the 4th tier, and now recently they've just won MPL. So I think we can really learn from that, and I think the club's heading in the right direction. In terms of coaching, I think I really don't want to retire in 5 years, but
maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 10. But I think it would be good as well, not just at Blacktown but other levels, to have more female coaches. It is still definitely a male-dominated profession across both, but and that's the same like women's coaches in the men's side as well. I think as we keep building and creating opportunities, people only keep getting better and better, and yeah.
So after football, you obviously don't want to think about that much. I know most footballers talk to, there's no such thing as life after football, but are you hoping to finish your degrees and do something in sports science, or are you going to do something radically different? So who's got no imagination? Who's an accountant? Anyone studying business? There you go.
So I'm a full-time teacher. I'm just finishing off one unit at university at the moment, so it's not too much study. But for me, with the amount of injuries I get a season, I've thought a little bit about life after football. So I've actually spoken with the head of the club and our coach David, and had a chat about potentially coaching the younger girls' sides and getting a little bit involved as like a player coach, and slowly fade away from the player side and move more into the coaching. Yeah. I've got my bets on. Who's gonna. But yeah, I think it is hard to imagine life without football when you've been doing it for so long. Particularly in the society that we're in now, where women's football is, on the rise. You don't really want to step out of it. You really do want to stay in it and keep on pushing forward and keep on playing and inspiring young girls. But so see where life takes us, and obviously always stay around Blacktown, and my heart is here, so I'd love to stay around and coach and inspire younger women to do so.
Maybe have a quick run around. Which suburbs do we all live in?
So I'm from Marylands. I was born and raised in Parramatta. I only recently moved to Marylands, but yeah, born and raised Parramatta.
I was born in Eastern Creek, so I'm sort of in this area as well. Yeah.
Blacktown City.
Yeah, it's a big.
I'm a Dooney boy. So.
Oh right, yeah, it's a good area.
I'm from the Blue Mountains. I'm from Glenbrook, so lower mountains type area.
I was raised in the Southern Highlands.
That's really south.
And then I was actually travelling from Maroubra, but I guess that just shows the appeal of the club, if it can attract people from a distance. And now I'm living in Newcastle. I'm a bad example.
Are you travelling from Newcastle down?
It's only a recent move, yeah.
Still, that's a huge commitment, and really for football, if you want to do something, people are prepared to travel, and especially if it's a good club.
From Winston Hills, so not too far out of the area, but
Yeah, I'm just Borkham Hills.
On the way home.
I'm just Borkham Hills. Yeah.
Just Rouse Hill.
Right, so this is the wonderful Blacktown City Football Club. Hopefully get into the NPL in the next couple of seasons. Thank you for being with us today, and how wonderful the sport that you're getting involved is really moving ahead in time, and for you to be here at a time that people are finally taking women's football seriously, and now you have opportunities to, whether it's in football, whether it's careers post-football, I wish you all the best and success into the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.